Hello, welcome back. It feels like a minute since I sat down to really talk to you guys. We got to go on holiday. That was a big one. I think the last time I was chatting with you was like pre-holiday. It feels like a complete blur, all of the packing and stuff. I did a ton of videos, so I've got like the whole thing of getting on the plane, all of the stuff we had to do, the regular vlogs, a little bit about what it's like being in a foreign country right now in terms of restrictions, and then coming home, and I did a full Q&A on everything. So like tests, all of the kind of rules and stuff that we had to do, and obviously at the end, whether or not I felt like all of that was worth the trip. The trip was absolutely magical. Christmas in New York is total bucket list. We have cancelled our upcoming trip to Las Vegas in January because it's just we felt like there were more and more restrictions being put in with really short notice, and things changing so rapidly that it really took away. I mean, it sucked all of the joy out of our kind of preparations and the general kind of build-up and anticipation for our Christmas trip with the kids. And the whole thing of the Vegas trip was supposed to be a celebration of our 10-year anniversary. We had a really, really small wedding on a shoestring budget when we actually got married. And we said in 10 years, you know, we'll have a little more disposable income and we'll go and do something just for us the way that we wanted to do it. And the closer and closer we got to the time, as much as I didn't want to cancel, it became more and more apparent that it was just going to be another compromise, and I just didn't want that. So we cancelled the trip, which sucks. It really, really does. I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important, but we got such a good deal in a hotel that we wanted to stay in on our actual anniversary. I'd looked into photographers and the little chapel that we wanted to renew our vows in. It was a whole thing. I was so excited about it. I mean, I got more than one dress in preparation because it was like wedding planning all over again and so much fun. But like I say, the closer it got to the time, the more I thought, well, we're not going to be able to book anything. I'm not even going to be able to book a photographer really till we're there. And it was the right call, but you know. So we're hoping to get that rebooked for mid to end of this year. I'll keep you posted, but I know that I've spoken a lot about that, and I've had quite a few questions about plans for that, because it's obviously coming up quite soon. It's less than a month away, and so I thought I would let you know. Not so much on that front, unfortunately. I also got a lot of questions about what I purchased and whether or not I would do a haul. So I'm going to give you a little rundown of everything I got. It really is hardly anything. I think those of you who have followed me for a long time will be like, how is this possible? But with it being so close to Christmas, plus New York is an expensive city. Like, I don't think we appreciated how expensive it was until there were 4 of us to pay for, because when we took the kids before, they were small. Now Ella's a third adult, basically. And we were talking probably $100 for every sit-down meal that we had, which adds up quickly. On the way back from Heathrow, when we actually landed, we stopped at a Services to eat something because we were also starving, and we got a Subway, and even Ella remarked how cheap it was for us all to eat. And it's just fast food. But even if we were eating fast food for the 4 of us, like $50, absolute minimum. So I don't know whether or not things have gone up since the pandemic, or we just kind of had a skewed perspective. But with absolutely like no additional things, no alcohol, no desserts, nothing, easily we could break $100 for a family of 4 eating. So we're going to talk about New York and kind of tips and tricks and what I would recommend in things in a future video. And that is definitely going to be something that I'm going to touch on, because it's not something that I would have thought to mention. I wouldn't consider it to be a super expensive city. And obviously you can eat, you know, a slice of pizza, hot dogs, things like that. You don't have to have sit-down meals. But if you want to do those things, it's more expensive than I remember. So anyway, I did buy a couple of things. Not loads, but a couple of things. A couple of souvenir-y type things. I got this for my friend Molly. She wanted, I mean, I have to say, Molly, the longer it stays in my possession, the less likely it is that you're going to get this, because every time I look at it, I think, I should have bought one for myself. It took me ages to find a nice snow globe. they were all really naff, and maybe this is, I don't know, but I quite liked this one. So I got this, and for my brother's soon-to-be-born baby, so exciting. This is another thing with the Vegas of it all, because we'd booked it quite a while ago. In the meantime, there was going to be a baby born around the time we were going to be in Vegas. Like, the baby's due, I think, 2 weeks after, but you never know. And so that was another thing that was playing on my mind, and I feel a lot more comfortable now we will actually be in the country, because I don't want to miss that. So we thought this was cute. I did get some candles this time. Last time we went to New York, in Bath & Body Works, I came away with nothing, absolutely nothing. I did get some candles. I got Sweater Weather, because this is one of my favourites. I've had it, what is it? What is it? Fresh sage, juniper berry, aromatic eucalyptus, and fresh woods, natural essential oils. It's basically just fresh. It's kind of like, I mean, everything I like tends to be like woodsy, aftershavey kind of things, but this is a fresh scent. I really love that. With it kind of smells like a little bit fruity as well, but just the tiniest amount. This was my favorite in the store. I got 3 of these, and I gave one to my neighbor. I also got something that was a little sweet that I gave to my friend. This is Winter Cabin. This just, to me, smells exactly like an aftershave that I've bought for Lee at some point. So bear that in mind. I'm not necessarily going to be the best, because I don't like the traditional Bath & Body Works things. I don't like leaves. That's so not my vibe. But this is amazing. It smells like, get this, winter air, black pepper, warm amber, and cedar. They are definitely like notes that I really like. And it really does smell like a winter cabin. So I got 3 of those, because in the store I thought it was such an amazing deal. It was like $10 for the candles. It was like the annual 2-day cheap as chips sale. The one that I got, that in store I smelled it and was like, I don't know if this is going to be a little bit too kind of spicy and foody for me. And it says fresh cut pine, which is a tick, cinnamon sugar, less so, toasted marshmallow. I really wasn't sure. I like the marshmallow fireside, but that's still got that kind of like smoky, woodsy smell to it. And marshmallow I can kind of just about live with, but the cinnamon sugar, like, I don't like the donut-y smells or any of the cake vanilla-y things from Bath & Body Works. But, and in the thing, it doesn't smell as good as it does when it burns. It really does just smell like Christmas. It's like cloves and Christmas spices and kind of like Christmas trees. It really is one of my absolute favourites. And if we get there again when there is a Christmas deal, or if you can get this from Next, because I know Next, what is going on with the focus on this camera? I know Next do Bath & Body Works candles now for an astronomical cost. I've had so many messages saying, number 1, did I know? And number 2, did I think it was worth the money? I would say no. I would say if you want one, like if I was going to buy one at Christmas time, yes, absolutely. I would get one. And if it was £25, I'm cool with that. One candle. I would not buy multiples at that price. No one in America pays full price for a Bath & Body Works candle. And they are, I want to say they're $30, but $25.50. So already they're cheaper in America than they are here, and nobody would pay full price for one. So it's nice that it's available, but don't go crazy and think that's a good deal, because it's not. But there are certain seasonal scents that are tricky to find, like Christmas ones specifically. And if I ran out of that one and next year I could get it again from Next and it's £25, I would pay it then. Weigh it up. I think that's worth it. One of the crazy things I purchased was this. This was on my list. I had a couple of things that were on my list. You can't get this in the UK as far as I can tell. This is a bourbon, bourbon is basically an American whiskey. I don't like whiskey, but this particular one is the bourbon that is made by the guys that were in the Vampire Diaries. I think this is like One Direction stalker fandom level weirdness, because you don't actually like whiskey. But me and my friend Charles, who are obsessed with the Vampire Diaries, I said, right, I'm going to buy this. And then you can come round and we'll watch the Vampire Diaries and we will find a way that we don't hate to drink this. We will find a way. But it was like, I want to say it was like $50. It was an insane purchase. The last thing that I bought was this. This was on my list as well. Craft Spring is a Brooklyn-based little craft store that I visited when I went in November time years ago with Charles. And I always remembered their little things at the Union Square Christmas market. This is their craft spring. They really kind of stood out to me, and I followed them on Instagram. And this year, Sarah Jessica Parker posted about them, which was exciting. They were already on my list to go to. You can see their information. If it focuses, I don't know what is happening with my camera. But yeah, they're on my list to go to. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. And I let the children choose an ornament each year to go on the tree so that I don't go mad. I don't think I bought another ornament this year. I bought some extra lights this year, but in terms of decorations, it's been very, very light. I really haven't, I don't like to keep, it's hard, but I don't like to keep buying and buying and buying every single year. I try and add something that we don't have. So like, I got some lights for the stairs this year, but the kids have already broken them. So it's tenuous as to whether or not they'll work again next year. But I'd really like a lit garland for the stairs. That would be something I'd maybe look out for in the New Year's sales. Maybe something for like the kitchen area. I would love a second very narrow Balsam Hill tree for the kitchen. That would be the dream. They're so expensive. That's the tree that I have in our living room. I joked for a while that was the only thing worth stealing from our garage, was the Christmas tree. Money well spent. It's worth every penny. I love it so much. And I would love one, and I would just keep it with just lights. Wouldn't even decorate it because they are so beautiful. Like really, really realistic pre-lit trees. If you're considering one, again, wait till the sales. Good deal. Anyway, I let the kids pick one ornament each year, and since I wanted to go to this craft sprung place, I let them pick one. And these were so expensive. I think these were like $25 each. They're all handmade, but I know. So I didn't buy a lot of things, but I spent a lot of money on insane items. This says, handmade with love by women artisans in Kyrgyzstan. There you go. Using all natural materials. So they are handmade. But you know. So Milo picked this one, which I personally really, really liked anyway. It's like a classic Christmas ornament, but it also kind of looks like my Vlogmas logo. You know, the Vlogmas, you know what I'm saying, the intro thing that I did with Emma. And then Ella picked this one, which actually does say NYC on one side and Rise and Shine on the other side. And I do hope that the children don't think that they're getting these ornaments when they leave home. Because I know some people do that. They're like, oh, and then you've got your ornaments that you take with you. These are my ornaments. I'm keeping them forever. That's everything. That's everything that I bought. Really not lots. It was more about kind of being there and fitting as much as we could into the time that we had. I also went for a bit of a mad dash around the city at 5 a.m. the last day that we were there, which was pretty magical. It was one of those things that the night before, it was 2 o'clock in the morning the night before and I wasn't asleep yet. Plus, Home Alone 2, the New York one, had just come on the TV, so I had to wait till the end so that I could see the tree while I was like less than a mile away from the tree. It was all very kind of magical that last evening. Everyone else had gone to sleep and I was like up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, could I possibly get up? Because the tree is lit every day at 6 a.m. So I didn't want to be there for the actual tree lighting because that was nuts. But every day at 6 a.m. you have the opportunity to see the tree be lit. So I set my alarm for 5, quickly got ready, left, had to wake someone up to lock the door behind me. But I went out and saw the tree, walked to Times Square, there was like no one around, walked to Central Park and watched the sunrise. There were actually a few people doing the same thing. I didn't feel unsafe at any time. What that says about me, I don't know. But it was just, I would highly recommend it. I mean, if you can get someone else to come with you, all the better. But I was listening to my New York playlist and it was super magic. It was just amazing. Almost makes the stress worth it. I swear I had the worst back pain for the probably 2 months leading up to the trip. It was the worst it's been in a really, really long time. Like I was going through the motions of doing various things with the doctor. I'm still waiting for one of my scans. They gave me these painkillers. I had an x-ray, various things. I just was at the point of, I can't go on like this. And from the day that we arrived home, I've had no pain whatsoever. I've always known that stress could exacerbate the pain. Like tension definitely made it worse. But it's just gone away completely. And not to be Sex and the City, but I couldn't help but wonder if it actually almost is entirely stress. And I'll be so cross if it is, because it feels irritating for a mental problem to be the actual reason for a physical problem, because it feels like you should be able to control it, but I can't. It was so bad. It was so bad. And Lee said to me yesterday, "Oh, how's your back?" And I went, "It's fine." So again, although I'm really bummed about cancelling Vegas, like I was really sad about it on Saturday. I was like not really okay about it. I'm kind of okay about it, because that probably would have happened again. Hey ho, you know, we get what we can in this moment in time, and sometimes we have to kind of give in to the fact that something's just not going to work. We kind of get a little bit back, and then a little bit gets taken away from us, and that's just kind of how we're living right now. But I'm really thankful that we got to go on this trip with the kids, because it really did feel like a one-off, when we're going to do this again kind of trip. That's it. I just kind of wanted to kind of check in, say hi, give you a little bit of an update on the holiday situation, and show those of you that were interested the little bits that I did get, which is not a lot of stuff. I'll be back on Friday with another faves and fails. And if you are interested, I will link for you below my vlog channel, where you can just check out what we got up to, and maybe if you're interested in the kind of the restrictions and like what it's like to travel right now, what it's like to travel everywhere wearing a mask and get around the city and things wearing a mask, all of that stuff. I did loads and loads of videos. There's so much content and information out there over on my other channel, if you want to have some of those questions answered. But for now, goodbye, and I will see you guys next time.